Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Friday and Merry Christmas. I hope all of you guys are good and hopefully you're staying warm. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 below where I'm at in Michigan. And I heard one of my friends in Texas saying it was down to 10 degrees last night. And hey, you guys have all your bragging rights in the South, but let's face it, Southern boys can't take the cold. So shout out to all of you that get to have a little taste of what a real man has to deal with in the wintertime up here in the North. But I hope you all are doing good. We're going to actually have some fun tonight. There's nothing for you to type in yet. This is for the people that are still here and probably about a half hour to 45 minutes. But I have 1, 2, 3 gifts wrapped. And I wrapped them myself. And I'm going to give away all 3 tonight. I'm going to tell you guys what to do in the chat when it comes time for that. So I'd like to thank all of you for the many ways you support the channel. Patreon supporters, channel members, generous super chats. Also, those of you that support on Locals. Locals is another community that's censorship free. It does not have all the rules and terms that YouTube does regarding firearms. And I stream there live where I can actually touch guns, which I can't here. And it's a place you can support if you want to, or you can join free and access almost all of the content and actually like financially support the channel there totally free as well. Go over and check out my Locals community. The link is in the description of this video and all of my videos. So we're going to have some fun. It's Christmas time. And I thought we were going to have a bombshell today from the AFT. I'm going to start this off right. Let's go, Brandon. The AFT, as he calls them, the former vice president. But they actually didn't drop the brace. So all of you future felons of America, I'm holding up my future felons of America patch that my friend Mateo designed. I think he did a nice job of it. Some of you guys have these. They're pretty hard to get now because the place that used to sell them, Black Swan Tactical, went out of business. So they're highly collectible. But when they do drop the brace ban, I think I have 1 or 2 squirreled away, and I'll do a giveaway on some of these. I guess people get to prolong being a felon for another couple days. So some of you guys said, well, that's a badge of honor. Somebody said they already had tattooed right on their arm, future felon of America. Other people are like, but what's the grandfather clause going to be? Is it on my side of the fence or is it on my neighbor's side of the fence? Because if it only affects my neighbor and not me, I'm good. And I've been getting a lot of that lately, but I hope you guys are standing strong for the Second Amendment, which protects your natural right to keep and bear arms that the government did not give you, but it is prohibited, literally, from infringing upon. And who cares if you like braces or don't? That doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, I might not like your particular gun, but of course I don't want them to be able to take it from you, tax you, put you on an illegal registry, add tons and tons of restrictions. And I'd like to see the gun community get together a little bit. Just to say gun community is kind of an oxymoron, though, because the longer I do this channel, I learn 2 things. And I want to focus on the optimistic part, but I want to be honest with you guys and let you know the real problems we're having right now. Not just to complain, but so that we can try to solve them. I've met some of the most awesome people, like ever, including like tons of you that I see out of the corner of my eye in the chat right now. And I want to focus on you guys, and I want to have as much positive energy as possible. And I want you guys to talk in the chat. We need to build culture. People say, do you think we'll ever have a war? It's like, where have you been? We're in a cultural civil war literally right now. Is it more powerful than one where there's muskets and regiments and rank and file like we saw, gosh, about 160 years ago now? Maybe not, but actually maybe. And you usually don't even know what happened a lot of times until you're either in the middle of it or in many cases till it's already happened. And we need to win the culture war, and we need to get it where, and this is going to be tough, but where if gun owners can just agree on one thing, don't come for our guns and we can argue about everything else. That's our best last-ditch effort. And I say best last-ditch effort because it's getting bad. And a whole bunch of gun control just literally passed a few hours ago. And most people don't even know it. Most people don't even know what the heck's going on. They say, but my Second Amendment right that was given to me by the Founding Fathers allows me to have firearms. So shall not be infringed and stuff. And that's, once you get out of like people who regularly watch this stream and sub to all these different YouTube channels and are members of the GOA, and you guys are probably some of the most informed people. I get it. But don't take it for granted, because most of your friends out there don't even know. Even people that are 2A supporters, people who own guns, people who hunt, all these different things. Most of them don't even know where their rights come from. And we're all endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that this country would be instituted among men. And when the country sucks and the government sucks, and it really, really sucks right now, probably about as bad as it can get, and still barely, maybe possibly being called America, I think we should start talking to our friends more so that they understand why it sucks so bad. Because so many Americans suck. And so many Americans don't hold their public servants, politicians, people in the House of Representatives, senators, whatever the heck you want to call them, even the office of the former vice president. And let's go, Brandon, the worst former vice president of all time. If a country was instituted among men and it would only operate at the consent of the governed, and if you look at the big picture, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm not going to stop saying it until they kick me off of here, we've been in a battle of good versus evil, literally forever. You look at the original historical accounts, we were in a battle of good versus evil then, all the way through now, and always will be. You know, we're going to celebrate the birth of Christ, and I believe Jesus is coming back. But before he does, it's up to us to try to hold things together as much as possible. And there's a lot of good people out there. And there's a lot of terrible people out there. But it seems like the terrible, rotten, nasty people that hate America, that hate good, that are evil, despotic, it seems like they actually get out and do something, while good people sit back and do nothing. And that's why we had an evil $1.7 trillion omnibus bill that just passed. And of course, it was virtually every Democrat. I saw AOC, of all people, voted no in the House. It was virtually all Democrats, but it was also a ton of Republicans, a lot of Republicans. And while Republicans are generally less worse, and I voted, and if I am stuck between a rock and a hard place and I have to vote for the less worse, it is technically less worse, and that's a provable reason to still vote. And I do encourage you to vote, but voting's not enough. You know, you can vote yourself into communism, but you have to fight your way out of it. And you have to fight every single day. It's not enough. Some people think, well, I voted and that's all I did. And they have doubts about elections. They have concerns. They don't believe. There's all these things. And I understand why some of you are typing as fast as you can. But we don't have this with our elections or that. I get it. I totally understand. I'm also on YouTube, and I'm limited on what I can say about that. However, for those of you that have friends out there that thought that they could literally just vote every 2 years, or even more often than that, people just vote every 4 years, and that they could actually have a government that was a republic, if we could keep it, as Ben Franklin said at the founding of this country, maybe remind them however you can that that's not what it is. That's never what it was. And people would like to make you think that's what it was. And voting is the way we are supposed to have an elected representative constitutional republic. Absolutely. That's in the Constitution, no less than 3 times in 2 different sections. They talk about people voting, but it's a lot more than that. And it involves you talking to people and saying, look, we have omnibus bills now that are over 4,000 pages long. And they give them to them at 1:30 in the morning, and the very next day they vote on it. Instead of saying, what's wrong here, maybe you could start with something more simple. Because trust me, you're sitting there talking to your friend. Just think about this for a minute. 4,153 pages just passed. That's like a stack of Bibles, just so you know. And the Bible's a long book, but the Bible's a good book, and you can actually enjoyably read it. This stuff you can't read. I mean, you can read it, but your brain would probably be mush after you tried to read even a tenth of it. 1:30 in the morning, they give them. Did you guys see Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky? He wheeled it out on a wagon. It's cases of copy paper, like, big piles of paper. We have people voting on laws right now that they haven't even read. And there's somebody writing these bills. And just as I started to say that the 4-letter agencies, the bureaucracy, right, is an unchecked fourth and unequal branch of government. And I believe that. And I think they're probably our most serious problem. Then I watched the United States Senate and House of Representatives pass yet another 1 trillion with a T, a number so big I can't even fathom what it means, bill that there's no way they read. None of them read it. It's literally impossible. They're trying. Who's more corrupt, do you guys think? The actual legislature or the bureaucrats? Because last week I said the bureaucrats, and I still think so, but it's getting close. So you could sit there and look at your friend and say, what's wrong with this country right now? And you better pack a lunch, and you better have rations, because you're going to be there a while. I don't mean days. I don't mean weeks. I don't mean months. You could probably talk about this, assuming you're a young person watching this. I'm assuming there's a 20-year-old watching this right now, and I hope there is. You probably will die of natural old age up until you're 80, 90, 100 years old, and you still wouldn't get done talking about all of our grievances. So why is it then that there's so many people in this country who claim to want to be free, who claim to love the Second Amendment and the First Amendment and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, literally do nothing? Now, to me, it could be a smorgasbord of issues, and there's many, many issues. But I generally narrow this channel down to videos on firearms. We could call it gun rights, but it's really our natural right to keep and bear arms, natural right to protect ourselves from anything you could think of. Not including, but especially enemies, foreign and domestic. And that's generally what I talk about on this channel, and that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. But even under that little small subcategory of what's wrong in this country right now. And there's barely anything that's even right with it. The only thing that's even cool about this country at all is people like you. For people to say, I don't matter and I'm not important. No, you're actually probably the only thing that does even matter right now. I want you guys to know that. And I want you to be encouraged by that. Who matters? A suit and tie up on Capitol Hill that has over 4,000 pages in front of them and can't even read it? Or you, who are actually talking to people and doing decent things in this world? I would say it's you. So there's actually a smorgasbord of things just within the Second Amendment realm alone. And if we could start off with realizing who the true enemies are. And in my opinion, our enemies are in Washington, D.C., and many, and even probably most of our state capitals at this point. Xi Jinping, I don't like him. I think he's an enemy. Putin, don't know much about him at all. Zelensky, don't know a lot about him either, but they're probably both really bad. And they probably both want things bad for America. But I didn't mention them first, did I? For a reason. We figured out how to build a military-industrial complex. And God bless everybody here who served. I'm very, very thankful for your service. But every veteran I know that's an American and patriot first gets it actually more than I do. And I'm learning about this from all of the veterans out there. So this is a shout out to you guys. This military-industrial complex has figured out how to sink this country in debt and defeat all of these corrupt enemies and leaders and whatever, regime changes. Half of it's BS in the end. I think most of us know that. Half of it, they do need defeated. We figured out how to defeat it everywhere, but we haven't been able to figure out how to defeat it here. But I don't think we should blame the military for that. We should probably blame the people who pay their salaries. We probably should blame the people in Washington, D.C. to a point. But should we really blame them? Because hold on a minute. You own a small business. And you have dipstick and dip twat working for you, and they're just horrible, and they just mess up everything they do. And every time they do anything, there's a customer complaint, and they're losing you money, and they're just terrible, and they're not even a nice person. So you don't even want to waste your time with remedial training. And you just keep sending them out there over and over and over again. Who's the real problem? The two little minions that you sent out there? Or would the problem be you if you were the business owner? Look, guys, it took us we're on about 250 years since this country was founded, and we're not going to fix it overnight. But how bad does it have to get where people are still going to sit there and do nothing? I'd like you to remind your friends of that, some of your family of that, who are probably very good people. They've just sat back and said, the military will protect you. No, they probably won't, actually. The police will protect you. Yeah, probably not. The United States government. No, the United States government is the problem. We keep looking for solutions by putting in more of the problem. Now, I'm going to go over these things that passed in the omnibus bill, and they're not good. And sometimes if you look at war, and I do believe we're in a war right now to try to save this country. I would say without firing a shot, but when we saw the mostly peaceful protests that happened within the past year or two, the other side is actually getting militant and violent. Well, we just want to be left alone. But you have to do something, and it's a culture war. And I know for a fact it is, because people just hate each other right now. And it's not just disagreements. Even within the gun community alone, people want to eat each other alive and spit each other out. Now, that's pretty bad, to eat someone alive and then spit them out. Because a lot of you are hunters out there. And to provide nourishment to your body and to feed yourself and your family, I think it's an awesome thing to do, to hunt and kill an animal and then consume it. And it lived its life, and its purpose was it provided nourishment for your body. But if you just kill something just to chew it a little bit and spit it out, to me, that's totally different. And that's a pretty low blow. And that's what a lot of the gun community is doing within itself. I'd encourage you not to get frustrated by those aspects of the gun community. Because first of all, there's agent provocateurs that pretend to be something they're not. There's also people out there who just have no moral compass, and they just don't get it yet. They don't know that their rights are endowed by their creator. And they don't know that if we want a government instituted among men, they have to do something. They just sit back and want to be a government man and then say, ain't nobody coming for your guns. Oh, really? Really? It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. Then it's death by a pocket knife. Then it's death by a machete, machine gun, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess people do think about this topic. I've had lots of friends bring it up, and I don't know why. I don't really think about it much, to be honest, but some people do prefer a way they would die. I don't really care, actually. If I'm dead by 1,000 paper cuts, or I'm at ground zero of a nuclear weapon, or it's a machete, or it's a belt fed, whatever it is, I'm still dead. But people seem to think that these things that might be perceived as small things, and they do seem small at first, then they get bigger, and they get bigger, and they get bigger. And meanwhile, so many people do nothing. And I know I'm preaching to the choir a lot here, and there might be some people here who are like, wow, I didn't know that we literally just had, well, it's about a dozen things that passed in the omnibus bill that are gun control. So maybe there's someone tonight that needs to know about this. But mainly, I think a lot of you guys know this, but we need to talk to more people. Because we probably can't just go right now and say, okay, we're just going to peacefully, or otherwise, by the way, we're just going to peacefully go in and just put in a new government. on the federal level. Probably not right now. However, it took us 250 years to get where we're at. And it's going to take some time to try to get back. But I will focus on a few things. We are winning in some areas. I know some of you guys swallow the black pill, and I understand why, and I totally get it, and I want you to do you, but I'm being dead serious. We are actually winning in several aspects. You know, there was a time where people just sat there isolated and maybe had thoughts about stuff we're talking about right now and what the heck the problem really is and what it means to be free and what it would mean to have a representative constitutional republic, not a democracy, a republic. That's the form of government the United States was founded on and ought to have. Now we do have the internet, and it's a double-edged sword. It leads to many, many bad things, many things that are leading to the degradation of society, but it also provides a way that we can actually talk. And there's more people talking about these things than ever before. You know, I was talking to a Michigan representative on the phone earlier this week. His name's Phil Green. He's the head of the Second Amendment caucus for the upcoming session in Michigan. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But he was talking about how his dad, many years ago, had authored the bill to convert Michigan from, may issue to shall issue for CPLs. I mean, even needing a permit to exercise your natural right isn't good enough, but it was a step in the right direction. And that's actually not that many years ago. Look at all the states that have gone constitutional carry, which we've had constitutional carry since literally 1791, really 1788, when the Constitution was written, but by no stretch of the imagination could you say after 1791 did we not have constitutional carry. Look, it literally says the right to keep and to bear, which means carry, right? Arms shall not be infringed. We've had it since 1791 when the Bill of Rights was ratified, but they're now removing some hurdles in over half the states. So before everybody says we haven't won with anything at all, look, we are winning on certain things. And it's just not fair. It's not fair to say, ain't nobody coming from your guns, nothing's wrong. That's just being ignorantly, I don't know, just stupid, I guess, willfully or otherwise. But also to say that we're not doing anything at all and we don't have any wins whatsoever, that's kind of ignorant too. So I want you guys to realize that. Now here's some doozies. And I saw pop on my screen real briefly. I want to thank Mike McLuhan. It looks like he gifted 10 channel memberships tonight. Thank you so much, man. And I see some generous super chats. I'm going to read those in just 1 second here. And keep in mind, could you minimize that for 1 second, Linda? I want so people can see, and then we'll bring Marcos right back up. I have 3 presents behind me. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys what to do after I rant here and for about another 30 minutes or so. And we're going to have some fun. I have box 1 here, the little one. Box 2 and box 3. You guys are all going to be in a, I guess, gift-giving thing. And I will tell you guys what to do in just a few minutes. Did I see somebody say something about the former vice president? I thought I saw somebody say, let's go Brandon a second ago. Check this out. There's a new piece of currency. $1.7 trillion. I figure, what the heck? I'm going to invest. This is the new official bullion here. The official bullion of a lead and effective strategy to mobilize stupid and ominous asset on pressure. Check this out. This is a big copper round. It's the size of a $50. A Kennedy $50. It says Joe Biden, 2022. Let me see if I can get it out of this little encapsulation piece. And of course, I probably can't because I trimmed my nails right before this stream. And whenever I do that, I can't do anything like this. Look at this. Joe Biden, 2022. And you guys remember the wheat pennies? Check this out. 0 cents. A pluribus unum, 0 cents, United States of America. And it looks just like a wheat penny. See right here. They call him the former vice president. And in case there's one person wondering, why do you call him the former vice president? Well, that's really easy to answer because he is the former vice president. There you go. Joe Biden looks like a wheat penny, 0 cents. United States of America. Let's go, Brandon. And for everybody watching that works at YouTube, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Shout out to Susan Wiki and the YouTube employees who enjoy watching my stream. And since we're thinking of Susan and all the YouTube rules, I would note, let's go, Brandon. The former vice president, and according to Time Magazine, which is a NewsGuard certified source, the most popular and the most fortified of all time. Just think about that for a minute. They passed a $1.7 trillion omnibus. You can pop those chats up there, Linda. And yeah, we have the former vice president that is worth and has about 0 cents. And probably after another 1 or 2 or 10, depending on how many of the American people are willing to consent to, omnibus bills, this will probably be your 401k and your life savings. And with all this sneaky below the belt gun control, probably about the worth of your gun collection. What do you guys think? I don't know. Don't no one type in there. I'm going to turn them all in. Jeez, oh, Pete, people have been typing that in so much lately. I lost mine in a boating accident. Jeez, good thing they didn't lose them in a boating accident from Washington across the Delaware. They ain't going to do you any good at the bottom of the lake, guys. 0 cents. You guys like this? The former vice president. Look at that. That's a real beauty. A real beauty in a different kind of way. Okay. There's essentially 12 things. This is from Gun Owners of America. Links down in the description. I'm going to real quick talk about the traitors from the United States Senate. There's also 9 more in the House. I didn't get a chance before the stream to get the list of those, but some of these senators were part of that bipartisan gun control bill that I've been rekindling and talking about again recently. Here's the traitors. So get them out. They're called primaries. That's actually where your vote matters a lot. That and local. Local. Blunt from Missouri. Boozman from, my thing cut out here, Arkansas. Capito from West Virginia. Shelley Moore Capito from West Virginia. Collins from Maine. John Cornyn, here we go. Come on, Texas people. Primary. John Cornyn from Texas. Cotton from Arkansas. Lindsey Graham. Come on, people of South Carolina. There's good people in South Carolina, too. Jeez, oh, Pete. Lindsey Graham. There's a real beauty. Inhofe from Oklahoma. McConnell. Probably the worst United States Senator we have, in my opinion. Worse than Chuck Schumer. Well, hold on a minute. No, actually worse. In my opinion, probably one of the most despicable, not only politicians, but just human beings. Mitch McConnell. From the great state of Kentucky, and I have many friends in Kentucky. I think he's literally the worst one. He's the one that told all these they could vote for this and they'd be fine. They'd still have his money. They'd still have his power. Moran from Kansas. Murkowski from Alaska. Portman from Ohio. Romney from Utah. Everyone I know from Utah is like super duper conservative. Romney? Get him out. Rounds. South Dakota? Wait a minute here. South Dakota? South Dakota supports gun control? South Dakota's liberal? Hold on a minute here. This is a 1.7 trillion. We're only going to talk about the gun control part here, but dude, this is beyond just liberal. This is like communist, complete government takeover level omnibus bill. Because here's the problem. Not only did Rounds from South Dakota, but also Thune from South Dakota. The state of South Dakota literally voted exactly the same way. Identical, 2 for 2, as the state of Michigan, as the state of California, as the state of New York. Now, if I was just to hypothesize and use logical deduction, South Dakota is equally as liberal as California. Now, there's barely anyone that lives there, so there might not be one single person from South Dakota watching this, and I'm wasting my breath. Primary, get them out. Unless, of course, South Dakota is literally as liberal as California and New York, because when it comes to this secret below the belt gun control, there's no difference. South Dakota senators were just as detrimental as Michigan, California, New York, New Jersey. And here's one more thing I want to bring up, guys, because it's also Shelby from Alabama. It's also Wicker from Missouri, and it's Young from Indiana. Cut it out with that crap on ripping on your fellow Americans. And maybe your fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, maybe not. You guys have many different religious views, but geez, oh Pete. Stop ripping on real people so much for what state they live in. I'm getting sick and tired of that crap, because here's why. It's not good to cast stones when you live in a glass house. People from the state of South Dakota, in Missouri, in West Virginia, and Arkansas, in Kentucky, in Texas. Not you guys watching, but a lot of people on the internet. I seriously don't know anyone in this stream that said anything like this. I'm just talking about the internet, just people. They like to kind of think their crap don't stink and that they have some kind of moral purity because they live in a certain state that voted for gun control exactly the way my senator did and exactly the way California did. And people that sit there and want to run their mouth and be like, well, I live in Texas and I live in Kentucky and I live in South Dakota. Therefore, my poop don't stink and it's all everyone else's fault. No, it's your fault. Because you're standing up for these enemies that are all compromising your God-given rights and throwing the only chance you have of getting out of this under the bus, which is the fellow American people. And I'd like you guys to fight back against that as much or as little as you want to when you see that in comments, in chats, in real life. I like a lot of people that live in every single state in this country. And you might need those people someday. And the level of impugning of people, just regular old people that live in certain states, by people that live in states that their senators are voting the same way, the same exact way, it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. It's all over the internet. It's pervasive. It's everywhere. Literally not in my chat, though, so I'm not scolding you guys. I'm really, really lucky. I have some of the best people that I've seen on the internet hanging out in my chats, actually, and I hope you guys are enjoying it tonight. Okay, number one, and we're going to give away a few gifts here. Massive 14.1% ATF budget increase to facilitate the former vice president's pistol ban. That's Future Felons of America. Is it 20 million? Is it 40 million? Is it 80 million? Is it 100 million? I don't know. It might be you. It might be a friend of yours. It might not be, but hey, we got to get together on something, guys. That's a big budget increase to register on the National Firearms Act. We've talked about that a lot before. They just got a lot more funding. 50% increase, and I've reported on this before. Remember that illegal registry that the ATF has been alleged, basically proven by the GOA, in my opinion, to exist? In my opinion, Susan, the GOA has laid the facts out, okay? If you guys wonder what I mean by Susan, Susan Wiki. That illegal registry that they're using with 4473s, the new 4473 form. See, this stuff all falls in line. 50% increase for the ATF's NTC budget to maintain the illegal near billion record gun registry. That just passed. This is law. And here's the funny part. People are going to say, I will not comply. I shall not comply. And there's a time and place for that. But there is no I shall not comply with this. This just is. You can't say I don't comply. Now, you can actually. You can. And there's ways to do that. But just simply saying it doesn't mean anything. Now, if they're coming for your braces, you can stand there and say, I will comply or I will not comply. But this stuff just happens behind the scenes. It's nothing that you can just like refuse to give over. You can actually do that, okay? You can do that, and that's a totally separate topic, and we haven't always had an income tax in this country, and taxation's theft, but that's another conversation that I could go into for a long time, so don't mince my words. You can not consent. It's just a totally separate issue from gun control at that point. It's called There Is Ways to Defund the Government. And I want to be careful how I word that because I am on YouTube. Directing the VA medical centers to utilize confiscation orders on vulnerable veterans. There you go. You know, veterans at one time worked for the government. Well, obviously, by literal definition. Attacking the veterans as much as possible. I'd say pretty much as always. Directing VA medical centers to utilize confiscation orders. And this is the summary from the GOA. Number 5, Department of Education. Tell me this isn't a culture war. Tell me that they're not sitting there trying to change people's minds, trying to change the culture, trying to set a new normal. Do you remember that? Dr. Fauci was his name. They said, when are we going to get back to normal, doctor? And he said, normal? That's cute. There won't be no normal. This will be a new normal. Look, guys, freedom is never more than one generation away from going extinct. And I'm paraphrasing Reagan here. You're not just born with it. It's not just passed down through your genetics. If you literally have one generation that isn't taught what freedom is, isn't taught what this republic of the people, by the people, for the people, if the consent of the governed and that your rights are endowed by your creator, if that skips even one generation, the next won't even know about it anymore. And you don't know what you don't know. And you could find ourselves literally living in hundreds, if not 1,000 years of darkness. We barely got anything left to this country, guys. It's getting really, really close. We lose it, and we're really, 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 really close. We ain't ever going to get it back. I'm being serious. We're never going to get it back. We are winning in certain grounds. There's a lot of people fighting like hell. Try to stay positive, because this certainly is not. Department of Education to push safe storage of parents' firearms. That's to brainwash your kids to say it's not okay for daddy or mama to have a gun. It needs to be locked up in a safe, because when seconds matter and police are only minutes away and you're your own first responder, and half the time the police won't do anything anyways. You're fumbling in the safe. You're fumbling with the combination. Hold on a minute. I have to compromise my own barrier bars to get to my whatever. We know that, and the government knows it too. Whether it's a petty thief, whether it's a person that commits serial sexual assaults, or whether it's a serial killer, or whether it's a whatever coming into your home, or probably equal to some of those, if not even worse than some of the ones I mentioned, the government trying to come in your home, right? If not even worse than the worst criminals you can think of, if the government, right? Everything in here is a woven tapestry, and it all starts to mesh together. One of them on its own might have a certain power. The other has a certain power, but the sum of the parts, the whole doesn't just double. It can quadruple. It can tenfold. It can hundredfold. It could thousandfold if people just keep doing nothing. And most of your friends are doing nothing, and most of my friends are doing nothing. But there's a lot to this here. They're trying to change a fundamental culture, that it's not okay to have a firearm at the ready. That it might be okay for now. Trust me, they are coming for your guns. Period. End of story. Literally provable. Well, I have a video on this channel that I played a couple weeks ago talking about it. Out of their own mouth. So you don't even have to believe anything I say. They are coming for your guns. But to keep and to bear only in a safe, only locked under whatever? No. Why would you care? Hold on a minute. This is the government. Why? Think about this for a minute. Say this to some of your reasonable, very hypocritical friends. I'm saying this in big air quotes for those of you that listen. They say, oh, come on. Ain't nobody wanting to come in your house. Ain't nobody coming for your guns. Oh, really? Then why is the federal government trying to change how your guns are stored within your home if they ain't planning on coming in? Denny Wilson. And shout out to my friends in Texas. I'm giving everyone tough love, but not the ones here. Just there's a lot of people that live in different states. But my friend from Texas, Denny Wilson. I'd like to sit there at his table and eat dinner with him and watch TV with him. He lives so far away. I don't know if that's ever going to be able to happen. So although I'd like to, odds are, ain't never been in his house yet, probably never will be. So why do I care what's in Denny Wilson's house? Why would I possibly care how his guns are in his house? I'm not planning on going in there. Why would I care? Why does the government care how your guns are in your house unless they're planning on coming in? Just think about it. And you know what, Denny? It's a small world. Maybe, actually. You know what I'm saying? I just saw you because, first of all, you're my friend, and I would like to hang out with you in real life, and you're like super far away. The odds are against it. But it's a small world. You never know. Why do I care how Denny Wilson stores his guns? I ain't coming in tonight. No matter what, I'm not coming in tonight. We can prove that. Why does the government care how you're storing your guns if they ain't coming in? Number 6, funding for the VA. They're after the veterans yet again. Yet again. Why is it that I have all these people come in my comments? A lot of people. I'm not saying it's the majority, just a lot. They'll say, as a veteran, you actually don't need anything other than a hunting rifle. And as a veteran, if you can't kill a deer within 5 rounds, you need to be a better shot. Where's all these veteran FUDs coming from, by the way? Well, even the veterans that are FUDs need to wake up because they're coming after the veterans, multi-pronged here, as always. Not happy about that, by the way. Funding for VA to maintain gun storage maps to keep tabs where veterans keep guns. Hold on a minute here. Hold on a minute. I got to read that again. I don't even understand. I mean, I do, but wow. Funding for VA to maintain gun storage maps. Okay? To keep tabs on where veterans keep guns. Now, look, I didn't serve. Those of you that did, fill me in if I'm wrong here, but I'm going to make a statement that I'm 99% sure is factually correct. Okay. If you are a veteran, you're not going to be living in barracks, right? You are not active duty. So these are people who are not active duty in the military because they're a veteran. I'm being serious. If I'm wrong, someone let me know on this. But I don't think you can be a veteran and active duty at the same time. Correct? Because even if you take some time off and re-enlist, I think your veteran status is put on hiatus when you go back into active duty again, right? So, because I was talking about this to somebody and they said, hold on a minute. You think they should have guns willy-nilly in their barracks? I said, what's that have to do with anything? I don't know how to administratively run the military. I have no opinion on how guns should be kept on base, except for one thing. They should be able to protect themselves. So we've seen base shootings. I know they should be able to protect themselves. I don't know how it should work in barracks. I've actually been in barracks before visiting a friend, but I don't know about that. That's way above my pay grade. But I do know this. These are veterans, not people who are current active duty, right? Okay. Funding for VA to maintain gun storage maps? Look, guys, I'm not going to bore you. I could read this 30 times and still not understand. So they're going to make a map to keep tabs on where. Okay, so hold on a minute. Jane Locke, firearm. What's happening, Jane Locke? I say out of the corner of my eye. She's a veteran and she's my friend. Jane Locke, right? How's it going, darling? Look. So they have the mitten up there, right? Okay, you guys know what I mean? Do I need to turn it the other way? Okay, look. The mitten. This isn't very comfortable. Okay, look. Is it like they're just sitting there and the VA's like, Jane Locke, there she is. We saw her in the 2A EDU chat. Oh, geez. There's only good looking and fun and very smart people in that chat, but hold on a minute. We saw her in the 2A EDU chat. Looks like she's probably keeping and bearing some arms, right? Look, I know, Jane, because you're active duty doesn't mean you give up your right to keep and bear arms. I'm just saying I don't understand procedural things within bases, like maybe some of you that served would. Look, do they just take a thumbtack and just stick it on a thing? Let me know what that even means. A map? I was getting excited for a minute. I'm like, oh man, a treasure hunt? We get to, Where's the map to find all the guns they confiscated? The Fast and Furious guns are getting destroyed, of course, by the way. They'll destroy their own evidence. Whatever. I just have to get beyond this. I just want to sit here for like an hour and a half and go, gun storage maps, gun storage maps. Because there's all these hundreds of people just out of the woodwork, the whatever, out of their whatever. Like literally, family-friendly show saying, ain't nobody coming for your guns, gun storage maps. Ain't nobody coming for your guns, gun storage maps. Ain't nobody coming for your guns, gun storage maps. You guys see where I'm heading with this, right? I'm almost to the point where I'm on my last nerve more with that ain't nobody coming for your guns guy than I am actually with these turncoat senators and Mitch McConnell and all of them. Whew. And I know you guys are sick of it too, so. Ain't nobody coming for your guns, my Second Amendment rights. Gun storage maps? Okay. New annual. Now listen to this crap. Okay. Why do they care how you store your guns unless they're coming in your house? Okay. 2 FUDs just left the stream. I saw it. They'll be back because they still like me. They're butthurt. They'll be back. So I'll see you guys back here in about 10 minutes. 2 FUDs. They just left and unsubscribed and hit the thumbs down. So if you want to cancel the 2 FUDs that did that, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It's totally free. Check out my locals community. All right. So why would they care how you're storing your guns unless they're coming in your house? Oh, because here's number 7. Hold on a minute. New annual compensation for families of deceased ATF agents could be an indication of upcoming gun confiscation. New annual compensation for deceased ATF agents for their families? Guys, I mean, just think about this for a minute. The map. Here's where the guns are. This is all just in here. Okay, 14% increase in funding here. 50% increase for the illegal gun registry. Okay, let's go after the vets here with confiscation orders. A map trying to brainwash your children that it's not okay for you to keep and bear arms. Okay? Dude, I know Marines that just got out in the last 10 years that I saw somebody said, what will Lee Ermey think of the Marines now? I don't know. I'm not in the Marine Corps. Never was. But I do have friends that are Marines that just shake their head in disgust. And they just got out in the last 10, 20 years. I don't know what to say. Have an active conversation, all of you that served. What do you think about it right now? I don't know. I have my opinions, and I can have my opinions on it. Trust me. I just know that they're going right after veterans right now. Okay. The map, the increased funding, and now increased compensation for dead ATF agents. What do you think they're going to do? What more can I even say? I want to get to opening these Christmas presents in just a minute here, guys. New annual compensation for families of deceased ATF agents. They're coming for your dog. They're coming for your guns. And maybe they think some people might fight back. If we can just get together on the Second Amendment, guys. Liking guns doesn't mean you're a Second Amendment supporter necessarily. You don't even have to own guns to be a Second Amendment supporter. We got to get as many people as possible to say, look, shall not be infringed. We're just going to agree on that. Hope we can. Gun control earmarks for orchid healing circles. So now they're basically taking and sending your money that they stole from you. Taxation is stuffed. They confiscated your money and moved it over here to try to confiscate your guns. Dickey violations, which that was the Dickey Amendment that talked about the CDC. Okay. Dickey violations galore while CDC suppresses self-defense statistics. I'm going to say it here. There's many, many more times, millions of people each year that protect a good life with a gun. And there's many, many good people who save awesome, wonderful, beautiful lives and are protecting, look, it's not limited to, but certain unalienable rights that are endowed by their creator, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's just so beautiful. And there's so many beautiful, awesome people every year that save good lives from despicable, terrible human beings, not the least of which is the government, which the United States government has probably killed more people than we could ever even imagine. And they want to take out those statistics and only put the statistics that makes it look like it's bad guys with guns doing bad things. See, for everybody that says the sword is always, always more successful than the pen or mightier than the pen, and sometimes it is. I think it's a circle. The pen and the sword always run in a circle. Once in a while, they'll branch off on two tracks and run adjacent, but it's pretty much a circular thing. Why is the federal government getting the CDC to suppress defensive statistics? Because it does matter. And the government knows they're in the culture war. The government's the one that's been funding Hollywood, mainstream media, and in more recent times, social media to carry on their culture war, their propaganda. And we're learning more about that every day, aren't we? As reported by Elon Musk and several journalists. I'm not even an Elon Musk fan, actually, just so you guys know that. That doesn't matter. I don't care if you are or aren't. We don't really have time to get into that tonight. However, the government's been running misinformation campaigns for a long time. Look up Operation Mockingbird. That's a homework assignment. Look that up. That could spend your whole weekend, but I don't want you to. I'll just give you guys a little teaser. Okay. Programs from discouraging women from exercising their Second Amendment rights. Isn't that funny? A government that puts up propaganda to promote a drastic, radical feminism that is designed to destroy the core nuclear family, that's out to destroy men, that's out to destroy relationships. And the government's getting lots of women hook, line, and sinker that can't think for themselves to buy into this modern feminism, which is highly, highly destructive to this country. And it may be just as big of a problem in many ways, actually, as Second Amendment issues. But I don't talk about it a lot here, but here it is right in front of our face. And now they want to disarm women. So hold on a minute. Is this woke, new social world order government really for women or not? Because God made a man and Sam Colt made them equal. And the gun is a neutralizer. And I know many, many fine women out there, including my beautiful wife, who carry a firearm to protect themselves and loved ones. In my case, my baby girl, when I'm not around. So a government that's been saying we're pro-woman, woman, woman so much that they're trying to make men be ashamed to be men is now trying to discourage women from exercising their Second Amendment rights. If there's any women watching right now, I normally there are a few at least watching. Let me know what you think about that. There's two more. I'm going to read a couple of these super chats because you guys have been generous tonight. Would you help me get those queued up? Let's start from the beginning. And I want to thank some of you guys while you're still here. I'm going to talk about a couple more of these. And I'll have a lot more to talk about next weekend as well. But tonight I want to open a couple presents. You guys can thank baby girl, the 3 people that end up getting a little something because she wanted me to decorate my baby girl. You know what I mean? And I have a Christmas lammy here. Real lammies right there. I might bring Christmas lammy out for New Year's Eve, but then he'll go away. And then I have some Christmas presents back there. All right, let's see what we're looking at here for the chats. My helper may have gone to sleep without me knowing it. So if you guys don't mind here, I will try to see if I can catch up here. This is not a high production thing. I do this by myself, and I'm having a hard time trying to get back here. So 1 second. All right, Mateo started off the stream very early on with a super chat. 357. He probably meant SIG, okay? But I think he likes 357 Magnum as well and said, defend your rights or lose them. Yes, Absolutely. It's just that simple. From a Marine veteran who is often very concise in what he says. Pay attention. Defend your rights or lose them. Thanks for the super chat, man, and for being a channel member and doing like 50 things behind the scenes that you don't often get credit for to help keep this channel going. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Marco Polo with a super chat and a channel member. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. He said, thank you, 2AEDU. Well, you're welcome, dude. Hopefully you're having a good weekend here. Fighting the good fight. Mateo with another super chat says, Merry Christmas to everyone. And I'd like to say it again. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you guys are doing good. I want you to all do good. I want you to be happy. We need to pay attention to this stuff too, however. Let's see here. Kiasi? I probably mispronounced your name, but thank you so much for the generous super chat. Said, tried to gift subs, but I can't. Much love and continue to preach the truth. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. On 2 accounts. The super chat in and of itself helps keep the channel going. I'm just a regular dude in my shop. I don't have gun corporate funding, so that helps. But I really, even more than that, appreciate the encouragement. So thank you so much. And just as a matter of logistics, you can only gift super chats. It's like, not super chats, I'm sorry, memberships. It's down there on the $sign, okay? But you can only do it on a PC. YouTube has this feature, gifting super chats. It's the main thing that they promote. It's supposed to be one of the funnest ways to support a channel and hook, your fellow friends in the chat up. They know that 90% of people watch YouTube on their phones, but they make it where it doesn't work on phones, only on computers. I'm being serious. YouTube makes less sense than the federal government in many cases. Mike McClune gifted another 5 memberships, 15 memberships tonight. Thank you so much, McClune. You know what? I mispronounced your name. Kiaski. I appreciate the generous super chat. I was wanting to give a couple of these away. If you're interested, okay, email 2aeduperks@gmail.com. All right. And I'll send you one of these. I have a couple of them. The 0 cents. Maybe you'd like that just to have as a little tchotchke or show your friends. Email 2aeduperks@gmail. I'll need your address, whatnot. I'll mail that to you. Same thing for you, McClune. You know the email address. Email me. I got one of these with your name on it, man. Thank you. Marco Polo with a super chat. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. He says, great stream. Well, thank you, dude. You're in here all the time. I appreciate your support. You're always encouraging, and thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And Mateo with another super sticker. Jeez, dude. I know Mateo doesn't like trinkets. I tried to send him one of these. He said no, so we'll send it to the 2 other guys that I just mentioned instead. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to leave the thumbs up, guys. It's called the algorithm. It might suggest this video to somebody that would really enjoy the stream. So there you go. Well, thank you. All right, 2 more things on here, and we're going to open some gifts for you diehards that were able to stay up. It's about 11:20 Eastern time. Number 11, anti-gun community violence intervention initiatives. Back to that again. Trying to infiltrate your local community with money. Trying to infiltrate your community with money. If you can throw that email in there, please, Linda, for the 2 that I had named out. Trying to turn your local community on you financially. I'm telling you, look. They're dumping large amounts of money. This is why I know I'm over the target with this, guys. And people like to tell me, no, you have no clue. Stuff like this literally proves it. We have to start focusing on our local communities, our state government, our county government, our city government, because the other side that's antithetical to your natural rights, they are dumping money in your local community. They're dumping money into your schools. They're segregating women. They're segregating veterans. They're segregating everybody, quite frankly. Gun control's always been racist from day one, and it still is, and it's becoming more racist by the day. Look, anything you could think of to segregate people on, they're just dumping more and more money to segregate everybody as much as possible. natural rights that were endowed by your creator. And the prohibition of the government that says, don't tread on me, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. That's why we want to be free, don't we? And here's the what. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And if we can unite on one thing, we need to unite on that, because they're trying to divide us and segregate us. And they're pumping more and more money into your hometown, into your school, into your kids' school. If you don't have kids, trust me, other people in your neighborhood do. And they're indoctrinating their children to turn on you. We need to stop getting divided about what state we live in, what gender we are, what color we are. And we need to all turn on these people, because these are our real enemies right now. And we need to stop them. And you know what? There's nothing I can say on this stream that'll change anything Mitch McConnell's going to do. He doesn't know who I am, and he never will. And I get that. I don't live in the state of Kentucky. I can't vote against him in the primary. And the former vice president here, former vice president, 0 cents, he doesn't even know who he is. I'll never have a conversation with him either. But here's what I did do. I did talk to I don't have to say incoming rep anymore because she took her oath, Michigan State Representative Jamie Thompson. She's my state rep in the Michigan House. I talked to her this week. I talked to former state rep, now senator. See, they're just switching titles. State Senator Joe Bellino. Texted him back and forth this week. And I also, through my friend, got the phone number to a guy named Representative Phil Green. He's up in the Thumb in Michigan, if any of you live up there. He's the head of the Second Amendment Caucus in Michigan. He's going to be coming up with the plan to fight like hell to keep Gretchen and all of her cohorts in the now Democrat majority Senate and House from just taking over and sweeping through with every gun control bill you could think of. And that's just the beginning, Gretchen said. She's bragging, she's flaunting it. Yeah, if I was her, I wouldn't be flaunting anything, but you know what I mean. Look, I'm going to be going to Lansing. I'm going to be talking to people. Lansing, Michigan, for those of you that don't know. And I suggest all of you do that too. I'm going to be going to Lansing, and when I do, I'm going to let you guys know, and hopefully some of you will come there. And the head of the Second Amendment Caucus in Michigan, okay, said he'll make time available so I'm in the know on what the game plan is to fight back. And if I bring some of my friends to Lansing, he'll make the time to actually personally meet with us, and you'll get to that. You have to put forth a little effort. The more you put forth, everything's not ever going to be perfect. You're not going to always get everything you want, but it drastically stacks your odds. To even get the chance, think about this. Think about sports, because people love their sports, but they don't love their freedom near as much as their sports. Because if the 100,000 people that turn out in the big house, I think it's 120,000 now, they keep adding on every year for a University of Michigan college game. If that many people showed up anywhere, cocked, locked, ready to rock, and said First Amendment, Second Amendment, by the way, 1 through 10, by the way, you only serve at our consent, they wouldn't be able to do anything. The government would be done. They'd be running, retreating. They'd say, hold on, what can we do to... So since people only care about sports in this country, just think about that. But I guess people have always cared about games. If you look back at the Romans, and you can look back at many different past empires and civilizations, people have always cared more about games than being free. Major League Baseball player. There you go. Now there's more people watching the stream. Major League Baseball player. They're like, oh, natural rights. Yawn. Oh, boy. Did he say I have to, do something? And call? Yeah, actually. Major League Baseball player. You have to practice a lot and have talent and have everything aligned to even get the chance to get up there at the plate. Okay? I can't show my full batting stance, but I'm actually not a bad ball player. All right. You might strike out. You might get caught looking, which is where they invert the K the other way. Baseball fans, you know what I mean? You had to practice a lot to get there, and you still might strike out, but at least you got there, and you might make contact, and you might get a single, which drives in the winning run. You might be down by 3, bottom of the ninth, and hit a walk-off grand slam, or you might strike out. But you have to put forth some effort to even get in the game. Are you guys? You guys need to be the leaders of your hometowns. You guys that come in here every week, you guys are smarter. You guys are the best chance we have. People that hang out in these streams are awesome. Start talking to your friends. You guys need to find out how to get the phone numbers and emails, but actually physically go to your state capitals. Talk to these people. And I'm not just bluster here. It's a few weeks until they're going to start going in session. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the state of Michigan. I can't go there every day. This is my most expensive hobby, not my job doing this, but I'm able to keep it up because you guys are generously sponsoring this stream tonight and all my stuff. But look, hopefully there's some people that live close enough here, which I know some of you do. I'm like, all right, guys, let's go to Lansing while they're in session. And I don't even mean for a protest or a rally. That's not what I'm talking about. Although I do support that too. Big fan of that. But actually to talk to some of these people. You could call them critters. You could call them heroes or anything in between. I don't care, but I'm working behind the scenes. I've spent time on the phone with several people from Michigan this week saying, well, I want to be coming up there. I'm going to be bringing some friends, and let's get behind the people that are actually defending and protecting your natural rights. And the ones that are contrary to that, when they become contrary, right? It's your right. It's your duty. See, that's the thing. It's not just your right to throw off a tyrannical government. It's your duty. It's your duty to do the best you can. That's all you need to do. And if people just do something, even if people only did a quarter of their best or half their best, but especially their best, it's going to help. It's not going to hurt. This federal bill, okay, is dumping money into your schools. It's dumping money into your local organizations, into your community, into your hometown. So don't think it's not relevant to go to your township meetings, your county meetings, okay? City Hall if you live in a city limit proper. In Michigan, our capital is Lansing, and we have a state house and a state senate. And if you guys don't believe me, meet me there when I tell you guys. Not in the next couple of weeks. They're not in session yet. They're not meeting yet. If you don't believe me, I'll prove to you how you can literally meet them. I'll promise you guys this. If you go to the Lansing with me, we'll meet in the rotunda while they're in session, and you will see right in front of your face a real-life Michigan rep or senator or maybe a whole list of them. And I mean that in an encouraging way. It can be done. I'm nobody. I figured out how to do it, and I'm going to try to help you guys as much as I can. Now, I'll say Michigan because I live in Michigan, but in every state. In every state. In your hometown. In your community. They are dumping money into your community right now. Here's number 12. This reminds me of the MVEs. Militia, violent extremists. You guys remember that? Future Felons of America. I mean, what's next? Oh, there's more. It can get worse. Violent anti-gun ideology and domestic radicalization research. They consider reading quotes from the Declaration of Independence to be radical. They consider the Second Amendment to be radical. They consider the Founding Fathers to be radical. And if the Founding Fathers were alive today, the current government would try to lock every one of them up. I'm being serious. Just think about that. If the Founding Fathers were alive today and said what they said back then and did what they did back then now, they'd lock them up. They'd brand them as terrorists. They think the Founding Fathers are terrorists. They think the Founding Fathers are extremists. And the closer you are to wanting this country to be America again, the more they consider you to be one, and they're stealing more of your money to fund more of that research. Now, in this omnibus bill, it's marking where veterans keep their guns on a map. The next one, they'll probably be marking where you're at on a map. Look, we can stand together. We'll surely all hang separately. And I guess then that gets us back into the semantics of, would you rather die by a ground zero of a nuclear bomb? Would you rather die of a machete, a belt fed, or paper cuts? I don't know. I'd rather not die, though, till I can do not only my right, but my duty to try to make it where my daughter can have some freedom left. And where your children that I don't know and grandchildren that I don't know will have more freedom, preferably than we have now. Not worse, not less. I'd rather us stand together, not think of all the ways that us and our country can just die. There's 12 things. The link's down there in the description. I think it's despicable. And I do blame these Republicans that crossed over. And of course, I blame the Democrats that voted for this garbage too. And I also blame the American people. And I encourage all of you as much as you can that watch this to try to help win this culture war. And notice I didn't even say to try to go to D.C. Look, we've been getting whittled away and little bites out of our liberty and freedom for 250 years. They're bringing the fight right to our door. They want to know how you're storing your firearms, which I don't know why they want to know that unless they're planning on coming in. New annual compensation for ATF, for the families of deceased ATF agents. What does that mean? They're going after women again. They're going after veterans again and again. And they're dumping tons of money into your school and into your hometown. See, too many people sat there for too long, and this is where we need to change this. Enough's enough. I'm getting sick of this. Too many people sat there for too darn long and said, not in my backyard. I live in South Dakota, somebody might say. That's Michigan. Sucks to be you. You deserve. You're a POS for living in Michigan. Oh, look, so both of their senators voted the same way as my Michigan senators and California senators and New York senators. But certainly, though, not in my backyard. The grass is green. Till your kid comes home from school and says, Mama, Daddy, that gun being out isn't right. And by the way, with the new funding, there's this hotline that I called. With them now compensating families of ATF agents, wanting to know where the guns are, brainwashing your children in schools to hate guns, to not want your guns to be at the ready. What's this add up to? This is not just on the federal level. This is literally in your backyard. But this is where I want to encourage you guys, and we're going to open some gifts for all of you diehards. And I have some awesome, generous super chats that I want to read too. Look. You can get a hold of and talk to people on your school board. You need to start. And you can get a hold of people in your township board or your city hall. On your county level. And your state rep and your state senator. Those people are not unreachable. It is not impossible. The higher up the chain you go, you have to maybe put in a little more effort. Like phone calls. Look, I'm going to tell you guys something here in Michigan. And I assume this is the case for all 50 states. You can call Lansing, call your Michigan representative, your Colorado, your Missouri. Look, I'm going to say Michigan, guys. I care about all of these states. Just you guys have to do, look, I can't vote for your state rep. You know what I'm saying, right? We all have to do our thing, but this encouragement's for everybody. It's as simple as this. Call their office. You'll get a hold of a clerk on the phone and say, I would like to request a meeting with my representative face to face, and I want to talk about the Second Amendment. They're going to do one of two things, and they're both going to accomplish the same thing. They're going to say, here's their appointment schedule. Let's, they have Thursday at 2:15 available. Not going to work? Okay, fine. The next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Okay. Or they're going to say that, well, they have a coffee hour at Joe's Donut Shop, and you're like, oh, shoot. I drive by there, and that's 2 miles from my house. Seriously, call their office. You'll get their staff and say, I would like to talk to face-to-face my representative, my senator. Now you can talk. Look into their eyes, whatever it takes for you to, you know what I'm saying? You guys could do it. I'm going to be talking about it more and more as my state comes back into session, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to tell you guys how to do it. And hopefully, few people show up and you can just have a good time meeting awesome patriots, right? Bill Campers with the generous super chat. Thanks, man. And a channel member. I appreciate you, dude. I don't see a message. I don't know if he left one, Linda, otherwise, but probably just helping to support the channel. So thank you, Bill. I really appreciate it, man. Long-time channel supporter. Good guy, too. All right, what else have we got, Linda? It's getting kind of late on me, but I'm going to read a couple more of these chats, and I'm going to tell you guys real quick what to do with this. Marco Polo with a member chat. As a channel member, you can leave a equivalent of a super chat every so often. He said, good night, all, and Merry Christmas. Good night, man, and Merry Christmas. All right. All right, looks like are we going in reverse order here, or I'm trying to make sense of this here? Okay, Band Talk with a super chat. Thanks a lot, man, and a channel member. How you doing, dude? Man, we're gonna have to hang out again in real life sometime. Shout out to the Band Talk channel. I think you're back online now. Are you on the level with Susan Wiki? Shout out to the Band Talk channel, my friend. Thank you, man, for the generous super chat. He says, Merry Christmas and happy holiday season to everybody. Wish you all the best. Take time and appreciate everything you should be fighting for. And thank you so much, man. I tried to mention that a few times because I'm very sincere in that. But thank you for reminding everybody. Because it's like doom and gloom here right now. This is like where the rubber meets the road. But very, very important message from our friend Band Talk. And I suggest all of you read that. We need to take the time and appreciate everything you should be fighting for. Yes. Yes. If you have nothing beautiful in your life and nothing to appreciate, why would you fight? And you wouldn't. So try to focus on the good and remain vigilant to protect things that are good, because there's a lot of bad stuff. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. CNT Designs and Arms with a generous super chat. Thanks so much. Band Talk, send me an email just to remind me. I know we have your address. I think you'd enjoy one of these for the collection. CNT Designs. Okay, same thing, man. I have a couple of these. If you guys would like that. Throw the email in there real quick. I think CNT has it. But 2aeduperks@gmail. Just a quick note. You know what I'm saying, Band Talk? And don't skimp out. I know you like this stuff. Email me, Band Talk. That's a direct order, sir. He's like, I'm not your chain of command. No. I just know sometimes you guys are bashful. CNT Designs and Arms. What's happening? Another awesome dude. And shout out to the CNT Designs and Arms channel. Very talented metal fabricator, creator, and also has a channel here on YouTube that I recommend. Coop's a very good guy. He says, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. We need to come together in the next year. Yes. Yes. Perps, challenges to our rights are going to get worse. Yeah, I mean, future felons of America. I thought it was going to be today. Instead, it was X marks the spot on the map for veterans and women and can't protect themselves anymore and whatever. He says, until the Constitution carries weight again, the government will continue to trample our rights. Yes. Hometown at first, guys. It's very, very important. Your state. Thanks for the encouragement, CNT. You're very smart, and you're absolutely correct, man. And he has something talking about the AFT and his avatar on the screen right now that looks like one of your creations. Send me an email, CNT, Band Talk, a couple of the other guys earlier. All right, what else have we got, Linda? I want to get in here real quick and get these gifts open. Look at this. The former vice president. It looks like a wheat penny on the back. 0 cents. I mean, come on. You can't make this stuff up. We got to have fun. Kent, 556. Here's a 223. I should get a 556 round out here. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Says thank you for all you do, 2AEDU. Well, you're welcome, man. Keep on pushing. We all need to stand together in these difficult times. Amen. Yes, sir. And then he says, Merry Christmas. Thanks, man. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, too. And hopefully you're staying warm wherever you're at. Gosh, it's freezing here. All right, we've got Mateo with a super chat and a channel member. Thanks again, dude. Seriously, I have to find a way to send him something. Can I launder stuff? Like I'll send it to. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, dude. He says support the channel, join locals. Yes, guys. Locals, locals, locals. It's a completely separate community other than YouTube. I love my time here. I love being with you guys right now. But there's a lot of stuff I can do there that I can't do here, and quite frankly won't, because locals is a censorship-free site. And it is, seriously, though. It's a way you can support the channel totally for free. He said, use the links to keep this great content coming. Look, I post deals over there. I've got awesome deals posted right now on 5.56 ammo, 7.62 NATO, AKs, ARs, tons of awesome stuff. Literally, you can go over to my locals, totally free, see content. I've been posting content at least once a week, if not often more than that, like long-form video content streams. You can just go over there and click on my links before you're buying normal stuff you already do, and it helps the channel. And for those of you that won't go over to locals because you only like YouTube, I do have an Amazon link down in the description. So make sure you're using that for, I would say, Christmas shopping, maybe technically last-minute Christmas shopping, but that also helps, and I appreciate you guys doing that. Mike McClune with a super sticker. Thank you so much, man. You've been very supportive tonight. Make sure you email me, McClune. Okay, I know you got my email, bud. I'm gonna assume, even though they screw me over, everyone else gets to enjoy the super sticker. I'm assuming it's something with a tactical hippo. Is it Hugo or Henrietta the hippo? Let me see here real quick. I'm going to try to. Marco Polo had the member super chat. I see. See, I can see different stuff on the YouTube side of thing. Jamie Elkins had a member super chat. Said, God has a plan for us. We will triumph in his name. If I don't read the member super chats, guys, it's not a snub. It's not a smite. I appreciate them, and I read every word of these. Like last weekend, I read everything from last Friday. I get all of your messages. Trust me. So I just can't see them in real life. There we go. And it's Hugo the hippo turning his hat sideways, giving me a thumbs up. Thank you for the super sticker, Mike. Saint Vicari with a member super chat saying Merry Christmas. Thank you, Saint. What's happening, man? I see too many choices with a member super chat. These are free super chats for you to give as a perk for being a member. It says the government was created to protect our rights. Absolutely. That was the only reason they were created, is to protect our rights, period. Yes, sir. Denny's plant-based journey with a super chat. I'm sorry, the member super chat. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Patriots. Well, thank you, man. Yes, I do have a source, Jane, and yes, I share a lot of links for that stuff on locals too, because I can't hear, right? I see one more super chat, and then we're going to get right into this. The people watching are dwindling. It's getting late, but I really do want to be able to do this real quick, because there are several gifts in there. I'm going as fast as I can. Okay, Bill Campers with a super chat. I don't know if that's another one. If it's the same one, thank you again, sir. If it's a second one, thank you again for being so generous. I appreciate it, man. And Steve-O545 with a super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it, dude. He says, Merry Christmas to EDU. Thanks for a great year of enlightening content. Well, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement, man, and I hope you guys had a good time throughout this last year. We've still got one more stream before the new year, but I appreciate it, dude, and thank you for being a supporter. I sent out about 50 or 60 Lamy ornaments, guys. Hopefully those are all coming in, or they have come in, for all of you that had emailed me. I had talked about it last week, and a couple got broken in the mail. People said, I'm sorry, I did what I could. I put them in like these protective baseball card sleeves and everything. And I think sometimes they literally have competitions to see who can break the most stuff. All right. Are you still up and at it, Linda? And if you are, you're going to have to focus. And maybe Mateo can help me. No, Mateo's getting off. Okay. This is going to be tough, because I'm going to tell you guys what to do. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff that's going to come in the chat all at once. Okay. I have 3 boxes here. Okay. This is going to be box number 1. This is box number 2. And the one in the red that says Merry Christmas is box number 3. So let's get that established. Now, there may be something in all 3. There may not be. There may be something in all 3 that is of equal values. Okay? But I promise you, there's at least one actual present in one of them. There might be something in all 3. But I can promise you there is some disparity. Now, you can look at this different ways. You could look at the big box. Has to have something nicer in it. Or maybe the medium, or maybe good things come in small packages. I don't know. So here's how we're going to do this. It's going to be real simple. Just remember this one more time. 1, 2, and 3. Now, you're going to type in the chat either 1, 2, or 3. The first person that gets a 1 gets what's in 1. The first person that gets a 2 gets what's in 2. The first person that's in 3 gets what's in 3. Go. There is some strategy. Because you could be the fastest one and type 2, but there's like nothing nearly as cool on that one as 3 or 1. So you're only going to get one first chance. So we got 1, 2, and 3. The first person that gets 1, the first person that gets 2, the first person that gets 3. All right. Help me do this, Linda, because I think we've already got the first. Okay, I am seeing Tennessee Patriot came in with number 2 like immediately, just above Band Talk. Now, keep in mind, guys, there's going to be a slight delay on your end. On your end, it's going to look like maybe it's the opposite. Hit refresh and make sure you hit live chat, not top chat, as you're watching there. But since I'm a neutral third party, I'm going to see the exact order. So I think Tennessee Patriot was the first person that guessed number 2. So number 2 is Tennessee Patriot. Hopefully only people that are going to actually send me their address so I can send you the gift. You are entering for something that I am going to need to mail to you, okay? Sometimes that'll happen. I'll do a giveaway I'm all excited for, and the person will win, and like there was 50 other people that wanted it that would have claimed it, and then the person like won't claim it. Okay. I see the first number 2 was Tennessee Patriot. The first number 1 was Chattel Call. So you guys might all be winning something here. You might not be, these first 3. And who got number 3 first? I see K. K. K.K. Do you agree, Linda? Let me know real quick. And I'm going to open these. Pop it up on the screen. You do agree. Okay. So all 3 of you guys are either, I'm going to open a present on all of your behalf, okay? So 1 was, I just see I didn't write down what number it was. Dang it. Geez, a lot of you guys had a Chattel Call was number 1. K.K was number 3. All 3 of you are going to get a gift open on your behalf. There may be something in it. There may not be anything in it. So the 3 of you are have a chance of getting something here. And you'll see in 1 second, there is a disparity of value here. These are absolutely not member only. I literally left this open to everybody. This is Merry Christmas. This is not a pay-to-play channel. Those that support financially are the only logistical reason I'm able to be here, of course, but I get the moral support from all of you, which is the other reason I'm able to still be here. So go back and check. This is definitely not members only, because you guys can fact check me. CNT Design Arms was number 3. Oh, okay. KK came back and was honest and said yes. Okay, I messed up. KK came forward and said that. Is that true? Just real quick here. Okay, tell me what's going on, Linda. The stream's getting late, and I said it was KK. KK saying it was CNT. So, okay, CNT. Okay, KK, stay on the line here because I'm going to send you something just for being honest, okay? CNT beat, okay. Throw the email in here for these people. So, Tennessee Patriot, you need to email me, 28EDU perk. CNT, you need to remind me of 2 things in the chat. Tennessee Patriot, Chattel Call, CNT, and then KK also email me. KK, I am going to give you a 2A EDU patch because you were honest, and I appreciate that. Okay, gift number 1 here. It's a teeny 2A EDU sticker, and I actually put that in as a placeholder because I wanted a small box. I'm going to ship these in something else, by the way, guys. And it is a 2A EDU patch. I have 2 of these, KK. So, KK, I'm going to send you one of these just for being honest. And this is what was in box number 1. So, Chad will call, email, and say, I won the patch. And I will send that to you. Box number 2. Okay. Box number 2. I didn't want to pick them up. So, you guys, I wrapped these myself. So, my baby girl's like, you got to do something for Christmas. She said, open up a box. And at first, it was only one box would have something in it. The other 2 wouldn't. So I was like, okay. And then we said, well, let's just do where everybody gets a little something. So keep in mind, the patch is kind of like a runner-up prize. And one of these 2 boxes is the main prize, and the other is a runner-up prize. So let me get in here and open this present here. I'd like you guys just to be able to open it, but I want to do it live for fun. And plus, there's not anything that big in this box size-wise, so I will mail this in a smaller envelope. I didn't have Scotch tape. I used packing tape. I'm kind of reminding myself of a kid on Christmas right now because the banana mag razor knife, right? If it flips, it ships. What's happening, dude? How you doing, man? So number 2 was Tennessee Patriot. And it's cold everywhere right now. And here is an Optics Planet beanie for you that I bought with my own money. They did not give these to me. I bought this, and they're actually very comfortable. And mine's literally, I'll show you because I got to get up anyways, right over here. Was wearing mine working earlier today. Negative 25 wind chill. So there you go. So that leaves us left with the grand prize, which is going to go to C&T. Make sure you guys throw the email in there, Linda. Make sure you guys email. And this is something that's probably worth a little more money, but I think all the things are pretty cool. So I wrap this up here. All right, let's see what we got going on. Now, I will tell you something. This is something C&T you can order online. And at the end of the day, you'll end up with the same thing, okay? But I was doing snow removal today. Okay. But this one I actually bought in real life, face-to-face, in their Columbia, South Carolina store. I think I'm giving you a hint, C&T. And I walked up and got this right off of the shelf. And have video of me buying this, which I'm trying to get YouTube to approve because I tried to post it already and they said I was promoting. Anyways. But yeah, nothing too crazy, but this is, I guess, the first place prize, and it's something that I really like. This is one of their PSA dagger cases. And I just knocked Christmas Lamy down. Hold on. Christmas Lamy, get back up there. This is one of their cases that you can get with a package, or you can buy these a la carte, but I think they're awesome cases. And of course, if you had a dagger, you could use it for that, but you could also put many in there. So this is an empty case, YouTube, and I'm going to show that right now. This is literally just an empty case, but they're really nice cases, and I definitely enjoy mine, and I was hoping this would be useful for whoever won it, because it's actually quite modular. There's a map pocket or document pouch here, and we have basically the silica gel. We have hook and loop, so you've got spots for a couple mags here. You've got a spot for the pistol, you know, the nose of it here, the butt of it here. If the gun's a different size, you could just sit and move, you know, this hook and loop up, move this one right here over. You've got a spot for a gun lock or whatever, just different accessories. You can move these around however you want. And they have different colors, and I thought the gray was kind of cool. Like, gray might not be anybody's favorite color, but you can't go wrong with gray. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, these are very nice cases. I own several. And again, not that it really matters. I'm just telling you, I bought this. I did some shopping, bought it with my own money, by the way. PSA did not give this to me. They probably would have if I would have asked, but I was like, I want to do some shopping. And I picked this up off the shelf and said, I'm going to give this away to somebody on the channel. And I thought it'd be fun. So there you go. Congrats to Tennessee Patriot. With the hat, Chad O'Call with the patch, KK with the patch, and C&T with the great case. Please email me, guys, so I can send it to you. I don't want your address for any purposes other than to send it to you. If you don't want to send me your address, I understand that too. And I'll come back if none of these are claimed. And if any one of these are not claimed by next stream, I'll give it away to somebody else then. It was a game my daughter thought of, so hopefully you guys liked it. And I just wanted to do something to spread a little Christmas cheer and make it fun. And we literally just made it available to whoever was in the chat. Dana Webb with a super sticker. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas. You guys have interesting avatars. Cute dog. I like it. You guys are all wishing each other a Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a good one. I'm not going to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year yet because I'll probably be on here to see you guys again before the new year. All right, well, it's gotten super late tonight, and I know a bunch of people are probably tired, especially my moderators, Mateo and Linda, that stayed up way past their bedtime. So I really appreciate it. I just wanted to talk about some very important things, and we did. We're in dire straits, but we have a plan. We have some encouragement, and just a little bit of Christmas cheer at the very end. So I will definitely read every last bit of the chat. If there was something that I didn't read that you really wanted me to, I'm still going to read it. And thank you. I really appreciate all of you guys. And make sure you check out my locals community. And I will have more videos up here on YouTube as well very soon. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And have a good one.